Hello and welcome. I'm Nekemte. It's Sunday, the 12th of December, 2021, and this is OromiaPlus reporting on the latest from Oromia this week. First, it's Oromo with the headlines.
A lawyer known for representing political prisoners was arrested by Ethiopian authorities in Adama City. The Committee to Protect Journalists sounds the alarm on the Ethiopian government's crackdown on press freedom. This comes as 3 journalists were arrested by Ethiopian authorities this week. The Oromo Federalist Congress condemns the murder of Karrayu traditional leaders by Ethiopian forces. The Ethiopian Media Authority warns ESAT against reporting on Oromo Liberation Army gains. Ethiopian forces summarily execute a grocer in Nekemte. Oromo Liberation Army leader John Moro condemns looting and attacks by opportunist criminals. And for our main story tonight, attacks by the Fano militia on Oromo civilians continue in East Wallagga.
At least 145 people were killed by the Fano militia in the weeks between November 21st and December 6th. These massacres occurred in the Wallagga and Shawa districts of Oromia, both of which border the Amara state. Oromo with more.
Cross-border attacks by Fano, a paramilitary group based in Amara state, have intensified in western Oromia. While these attacks have been commonplace in Wallagga, they have now begun to occur in West Shawa, where at least 20 people were killed in Nono district on November 21st. According to a report from human rights watchdog Oromia, Fano intends to capture what they consider ancestral Amara land. An attack in Gidayana district on December 2nd left over 100 civilians dead, making it the deadliest massacre yet. On December 7th, another 5 people were shot by Fano in Horoguduru, including a local community leader called ESAT. Survivors report that government forces often ignore these attacks as they consider Fano to be an effective proxy in their war against the Oromo Liberation Army.
Bona Yazo, a lawyer known for representing political prisoners in Oromia State, was taken from his workplace in Adama City by Oromia State forces on November 21st. He was one of the organizers of the political prisoners defense team and represented Oromo Liberation Front officials Lambi Benya and Dawit Abdata in court. Analysts believe that there may be between 5,000 and 10,000 political prisoners in Oromia State alone, many of the members of Oromia-based opposition parties. The charges against Bona remain unclear and has still not appeared at court. The Committee to Protect Journalists released a report in which it ranked Ethiopia as the worst jailers of journalists in sub-Saharan Africa. This comes as Ethiopian authorities arrested 3 journalists just this week. They are Ubuntu Media co-founder Isped Tesfaye, Rohan Media co-founder Miaza Mohammed, and Tarara Network editor-in-chief Tamrat Negara. A total of 12 journalists have been jailed under Abiy Ahmed's regime, and at least 1 has been killed. The Oromo Federalist Congress condemned the recent massacre of Karrayu Oromo traditional leaders. On December 4th, Ethiopian forces executed 14 officials of the Karrayu traditional governing system in apparent retribution for their perceived support for the Oromo Liberation Army. The OFC's statement called the action reminiscent of the killings of Oromo traditional leaders by Abyssinian Emperor Menelik and called for the Oromo members of government security forces to oppose these kinds of measures. The Ethiopian Media Authority sent a warning letter to ESAT, a private media organization, for reporting on areas captured by the Oromo Liberation Army. In the letter, the EMA states that ESAT should not report about the Oromo Liberation Army at all and should instead portray the OLA as being ineffective. Eyewitnesses in Nekemte report that Ethiopian forces dragged a grocer out of his shop and executed him in broad daylight on December 9th. According to the same sources, the soldiers began to take selfies with the body before warning people from picking his body up until nightfall. Human Rights Watch reported a similar execution that occurred in June, where a teenage boy was executed in a town center in Dambidolo. In a speech in Kellam, Wallagga, Oromo Liberation Army leader Moro condemned what he called opportunist criminals. In an event which the OLA leader announced new administrators for areas captured by the OLA. Moro promised to take action on the people who were using instability to enrich themselves and take out personal vendettas. In the same speech, Moro called on the Oromo people to protect the rights and the safety of all minority groups in Oromia. And that is the news for this week. Join us again next Sunday. I'm Nekemte with the OromiaPlus.